I just got an email from Progressive Turnout Project. And here's what I see. Incredible news. I'm reading this from my email. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, two Democrats, proposed bill to extend Social Security's solvency for 75 years, increase benefits by $2,400 per year. And then, so what do? I verify that. I go to Google. And according to Bernie Sanders' government website, sanders.senate.gov, news. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and colleagues introduced legislation to expand Social Security by $2,400 a year and extend solvency for 75 years. Washington. Senate co-chairs of the Expand Social Security Caucus, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, on Thursday, joined by Democratic Senators Cory Booker, Kirsten Gillibrand, Jeff Merkley, Alex Padilla, Chris Van Hollen, and Sheldon Whitehouse, with Representative Peter DeFazio introducing companion legislation in the House, introduced legislation that would expand Social Security by benefits 200. Of course, they said that part 3 times, all without raising taxes by 1 penny on over 93% of American households. Now, some of you are thinking, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, a lot of you should be thinking, like, wow, this is good, this is great. Now, I know some others are thinking, well, what if this doesn't pass because we have 2 people in the Senate who are supposed to be Democrat and they switch to Republican, and when it goes up for a vote, they're going to block it. Well, here's the thing. There's this thing that I've been pushing called Vote Blue No Matter Who. You might have heard of it before. You might have, but just in case you haven't. Right now, we have 48 seats in the Senate. We, the Democrats. We have 48 out of 100 seats. We have an opportunity to gain a handful of seats this fall. If everybody just turns out to vote like they're supposed to, and we get the momentum and the energy that we had in 2018 and 2020, we will have enough Democratic senators to be able to pass this thing. We're pretty sure it's going to go through the House. The House has pretty much done the right thing for the most part. The Democratic House has. These estimates reflect an analysis of the legislation conducted by the Social Security Administration on the request of Bernie Sanders and Representative DeFazio. The analysis was also released today in a letter from Chief Actuary Stephen Goss. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Goss. If anybody else knows different, please correct me. This follows the recent release of an annual report by the trustees of the Social Security and Medicare trust funds that showed Social Security currently has $2.85 trillion surplus, a $2.85 trillion surplus, and can pay out every benefit owed to every eligible recipient until the year 2035. Bernie Sanders was quoted as saying, at a time when half of older Americans have no retirement savings and millions of senior citizens are living in poverty, our job is not to cut Social Security. Our job must be to expand Social Security so that every senior citizen in America can retire with the dignity they deserve, and every person with a disability can live with the security they need. And we will do that by demanding that the wealthiest people in America finally pay their fair share of taxes. It is absurd that a billionaire in America today pays the same amount of Social Security tax as someone making $147,000 a year. It is time to scrap the cap, expand benefits, and fully fund Social Security. I am very proud that the Social Security Administration has estimated that our legislation to expand Social Security benefits by $2,400 a year will fully fund Social Security for the next 75 years by applying the payroll tax on all income, including capital gains, above $250,000 a year. Now, that's what Bernie Sanders said. A lot of people are probably cheering and applauding that, and yeah, and all that. Well, guess what? We're going to need more Democrats in the Senate to pass this. Now, why do I keep saying this? Well, again, Democrats are the only ones who would vote for something like this. And just like almost every other thing that Democrats passed or attempted to pass, 99 to 100% of Republicans vote against it. And I have not seen anything so far that showed that Republicans were in favor of this. I don't see any of them voting for this or saying that they're going to vote for it. This is why we have to grow the Senate. We only have 48 seats. We have potential to gain 6 seats in the Senate. And those 6 seats would be if we get victories from Tim Ryan in Ohio, John Fetterman in Pennsylvania, Val Demings in Florida. It was initially going to be Abby Finkenauer in Iowa, but she had lost the primary to, I believe that was Sean Casten. So he got the nomination. So we're going to have to get him to the general election in Iowa. And there were also 2 others that I cannot think of off the top of my head, but I have posted about it before. And I know it's going to come to me either at the end of this video or after I cut the video. But when if we gain those 6 seats, we will have, and then there's Charles Booker in Kentucky. See, look at that. See, look. When we gain, and Tom Nelson in Wisconsin. See, I knew that was going to happen. So those are the 6 seats that we could potentially gain. If we can get those 6 seats this November, we will have 54 seats in the U.S. Senate. And that should be enough to pass whatever we want, assuming that we keep the House. So I think that's a good one. Round of applause to, thank you to Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. Thank you to Cory Booker and Kirsten Gillibrand and Jeff Merkley and Alex Padilla, Chris Van Hollen and Sheldon Whitehouse and Peter DeFazio. Thank you all so much for at least introducing this legislation. Let's see how it goes through. I might be wrong. We might be lucky enough to pass this before November. But if we don't, then we'll have to see the results of the November election. And if we gain the seats that we're supposed to gain, we'll be able to put this on the floor. It'll get enough votes to pass the House and the Senate. Hopefully President Biden will sign it, and we're good to go. So, people, if you want this passed, continue to vote Democrat. Make sure independent voters and younger people are getting out to go vote for the Democrats in the general election like they're supposed to.